On Friday, Hawaii Governor Neil Abercrombie held his first Cabinet in Your Community event on Hawaii Island. Members of the governor's cabinet met with the public on the University of Hawaii Hilo campus. The event drew a huge crowd.
Income taxes from corporations, the measure of how business is doing in the state of Hawaii. As of June 30th, we're up 38%. 38%. I believe that we'll be able to report, and this cabinet will be operating on the basis of no less than $400 million. And I believe we have a shot at having as much as $500 million in a positive balance at the end of this fiscal year.
Abercrombie is seeking re-election to his current position. In 2010, Abercrombie hit Hawaii Island hard during his campaign, promising voters that his administration would not be Oahu-centric.
It's easier said than done. Hopefully with technology, IT today, we're going to be able to do a lot more simultaneous conferences and so on. Obviously, we want to be here in 3 dimensions, in a human dimension here tonight, but that doesn't mean that this is the only time we can do such a thing. It all has to be from emails or telephone calls and so on.
The event included breakout sessions, each focusing on a different state department: agriculture, health, energy, and others.
So we're a little different than the rest of the state.
Big Island Video News filmed the breakout session involving the Department of Land and Natural Resources on Friday. Department Chair William Isla took more than an hour's worth of questions from the public. Many were concerned about DLNR management of hunting resources.
So we have been working with some hunters. Some hunters will say that's not true. With regards to Mauna Kea, we do have federal court mandate that we finish the fence and that we shoot all the sheep in that area. And I can tell you right now that I am not going to go to jail. I am going to follow that court-mandated court order.
Other topics included lease negotiations for the Kanoelehua Industrial Area Association.
Some of our lessees had trouble putting in their applications for the renewals. He said that he would work to help streamline the process.
So we certainly are open for suggestions. If your group wants to get together and come up with, for example, you used a formula of square footage, run it by us. We will consider it.
The possible new critical habitat designations in Kona.
We are working with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. We have the same concerns, and we'd have to figure out who's going to help pay for this continued protection in perpetuity.
And ADA compliance at Wailoa Small Boat Harbor.
I don't want to crack my head.
They're also checking with the National Park Service and those folks that govern in terms of what ADA requirements are. So there may be a disagreement as to what the ADA requirements are.
Isla got an earful on a number of these issues, and he couldn't even catch a break when the session ended. Abel Simeona Louie, one of the primary participants in the Renegade Kanaka Garden at the DLNR-managed Wailoa State Park, served Isla with legal documents concerning sovereign jurisdiction at the park. Although this was the first Cabinet in Your Community meeting on Hawaii Island, it wasn't the first time Isla has held DLNR listening sessions on the Big Island. One of the department heads present at Friday's Big Talk story, Ted Sakai, the Director of Public Safety. Sakai spoke about efforts to reopen the Kulani Correctional Facility, one of the cornerstones of Governor Abercrombie's Justice Reinvestment Initiative that involves returning inmates incarcerated in facilities on the mainland back to facilities in Hawaii.
Since I've joined the cabinet, it's became really clear that the key piece in bringing the inmates home is the reopening of the Kulani Correctional Facility. And we are moving very intently to ensure that the Kulani facility is reopened just about a year from now.
We think we can put together a system starting with Kulani, extending over to the Kona side, that's going to have a human dimension to it that will be restorative.
Earlier that day, the governor's office released $650,000 for Kulani, part of the $12.7 million released for capital improvement projects statewide. The funds will go toward reconstructing the controlled entryway and detention recreation yard, replacing the existing furnace for the detention cells, relocating the dental office, and various electrical upgrades. A projected 200 inmates will be returning when the facility is ready. Kulani was formerly occupied by the National Guard Youth Challenge Academy after it was closed as a state correctional facility in 2009. After the breakout sessions, everyone returned to the lecture hall for a final word from the governor.
I realize because of the time situation that not every question could be fully explored or necessarily answered, and there are also lots of observations that were made, not necessarily questions, but observations, suggestions that were made that need to be commented on or followed up on. And I want to assure you that all of the questions, observations, commentary that came in, the written comments, we will do our best to get back to you straight away in regular order. We'll just take them as they're in the pile and distribute them to the appropriate department.